Hi, it's Coach Suzanne. Let's do some review. Let's do some punching in a seated position. I'll also show some standing punches later on, but I'll do a series from the chair. And even if you're not a boxer, this is for our Rock Steady boxing program. You can really follow along. I'm not a boxer per se. I've learned to become a boxing coach. So we do the basics, but we do them with a lot of energy and try to make it work as hard as anyone that's participating can do. So let's just go over a couple of the rules. Remember, if you're new to exercise, of course, you would always have your doctor say it's okay for you to do some movement. I like to show different types of intensity. So as I go along, I may change and make it a little harder or a little less challenging. The purpose being everyone has an opportunity to follow along. I just want to give you some ideas on how to do that. We're going to sit in a chair. You can do it standing if you'd like. Just be sure that you're balanced, and I'll review the standing posture as we go. If you're sitting, knowing your boxing structure, if you're a left-handed boxer, you would have your right foot forward and your right hand up, and your left hand would be back. So there's our left-handed boxer stance. Our right-handed boxer stance, I would have my left foot forward, left hand up, and then my right. So notice how my elbows aren't out here. I don't want to be rounded in my posture. I want to bring those elbows in, and really what's happening is my rib cage is then sitting better over my hips and my pelvis. So that's why we always say hands up, and elbows on the shelf. So we keep those in tight so we know that the posture is nice and long. So it's like you're on a rotisserie and you're going to rotate around that rotisserie. I am sitting toward the center of the chair. I am not using the back of my chair, so that helps me to think about sitting up tall. So when we first start, we're going to have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, just as long as you feel comfortable. I am a right-handed boxer, so I'm going to show you right, but we're all going to become left-handed boxers and right-handed boxers, and then kind of do some fun stuff in the middle. So let's just review quickly. So your non-dominant hand. So I'm in my right-handed boxing posture. My non-dominant hand would be my jab. And as I bring that forward, these are my forward punches. So I'm going to bring those 2 knuckles forward and then bring them right back in. So I'm going to bring it out and turn and reach. So what's really happening from my body, I'm turning from my body, trying to get that to work as much as possible also. The next part of that is your breath. So jab. Jab is also a 1. This is your 1 punch. On the other side, I have this shoulder back a little, this shoulder forward, because this foot's a little more forward. So I'm sitting a tiny bit on a diagonal. I'm going to take my dominant hand, my right hand, and that's going to come forward in my cross. And cross. So as you punch forward, try to punch right where my hand is. So each time we know you're punching in the same spot. Your cross is the number 2 punch. So I cross and I come back. Cross and come back. Notice how I'm coming back to where my hands are up right by my face and my elbows are on the shelf. So there's my cross. Show me your jab. Show me your cross. Jab, cross. Show me your 1. That's your jab. Cross is 2. Jab, 1. Cross is 2. So the forward punches are a 1 or a 2. I kind of remember the 2 is like a cross. It's 2 pieces. So the cross is your number 2. That makes your jab number 1. Sometimes that's helpful, sometimes not so much. So if I go back into my boxer position, still sitting tall, I'm going to have my jab cross. So I go jab cross. Then I'm going to take my non-dominant hand, my left hand. I'm going to bring my elbow up, and we're going to do a hook. So a hook comes across. So notice now my knuckles are going this way. They're not coming out forward. So I've bent my arm and I'm going to bring it around. So I'm going to try and look over my arm. So where my forward punch would be, my hook's coming along in the same plane, right along in that same line. So if you look at my face, I'm kind of coming across my chin or my nose. So I try to hit in that same spot each time. So with my non-dominant hand, that's my jab hand, which is a 1. This hook is called a 3, so it's also the odd number. So we have a 1-2 punch, jab cross. We have hooks, a 3, which is your non-dominant hand, and a 4. So that even number is your strong side, your dominant side. So here's 3, here's 4, 3, 4. So it's not sloppy, it comes through, so you strong in your torso. Huh, huh, huh. Good. Let's do 3, 4, 2 times in a row. So here we go. Huh, 3, huh, 4, huh, hook, huh, hook. Let's do a jab, cross, hook, hook. So the numbers would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Think 1, 2, my dominant hand, 3, 4, my dominant hand. Ready? Huh, 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 and home. Very nice. So a lot of times we don't do a ton of uppercuts because we don't have bags that we can hit too well with an uppercut. But what that is we come down. So we bend down a little bit, bring that a hand under. So I drive under. Now my knuckles are going up. So in my jab, it went forward. In my hook, my knuckles come to the side. In my uppercut, they come up. So I need to bring my arm around, but notice how it's not just my arm, it's my body and up, and my body and up. So I come up and up. Once again, hitting myself in the same area. So my hands always end up crossing in that same spot. So we go uppercut. Notice my body is helping bring my arm up. It's not just my arms flailing around. So uppercut, uppercut, home. Uppercut, uppercut. So on my non-dominant side, that's my odd numbers. So that's going to be a number 5. 5 is my uppercut. And then on my dominant side, 6 is my dominant hand. So let's go through the words and the numbers one more time. So here's your jab is a 1, non-dominant hand. Cross is a 2. Hook on your non-dominant side is a 3. Hook on your dominant side is a 4. Uppercut on your non-dominant side, 5. And then on your dominant side, 6. All right, you got it. So just remember to stay tall. Breathing is super important. I don't care what else you do, even if you don't punch and you just ha, ha, ha. It comes from your diaphragm, not from your throat. So ha, ha, nice and strong. Get those words out and really move. Use your whole body, not just your hands. All right, then we'll get moving.